All right. Hello, guys, and welcome to the Synapse Life Science Career Fair 2020. My name is Matthias.
And my name is Jumana, and we are the two core team members from Synapse Life Science Connect.
So in this presentation, we'll tell you about who Synapse is, what open positions we have right now, and we'll go over today's practicalities of today's event. So please stick with us to the end, and we'll make sure to cover everything you need to know. We're very excited to have over 500 life science students with us today. This is our first online career fair, and we're very excited to have you with us. The platform is somewhat new to us, but we hope that we've made it the best possible event for you guys. So as on any normal career fair, you'll have the opportunity to meet companies, to talk and chat with them, and reach out for one-to-ones. So this is really your chance to reach out, grow your network, and learn something new today. So please leave today with new contacts and maybe new inspiration as well. So today, the team that you will be meeting is, of course, me and Jumana, but also the rest of the core team from events and some other Synapses participating. And they're all presenting today, so they have a chance to meet them. Again, we're a lot of people, so we are more than happy to talk to you. So reach out to us through our stalls if you have any questions. So some of you might have seen this before, but we're just going to give a brief introduction to Synapse. Synapse Life Sciences Connect is a student-driven, nonprofit organization with the goal of bridging the gap between academia and industry. We try to do so by easing the transition from being a student to becoming a graduate and a professional. And we try to do this through our platform that strengthens students' network and competencies. In order to create this environment, we arrange a large range of activities through the year and use our three main tools, which is inspiring, developing, and connecting. In other words, we're a student-driven organizations by students, for students, and we're here to help you get the best tools to improve yourself for your future career. One of our tools, the Inspiring tool, is done through lecture-based, knowledge-based lectures, our career fair, as you're attending right now, and our meet and greet. We also try to develop student skills through workshops, competition, and our mentoring program. Lastly, we try to connect students with professionals and each other through our platform. We always try to have somewhat of a networking opportunity built into all of our events. This is all happening in an interplay between university students and industry and academic professionals. Since we've been founded in 2014, many of the former Synapses or attendees for our events have started to become industry professionals themselves. And we're starting to see this sustainable loop where these former attendees are beginning to return to our events. And we're always very happy to see former Synapses or attendees come and share their industry knowledge now. One of our flagship events is the BioBusiness Summer School. It's in August and features around 60 highly motivated, ambitious students. And the program is a 5-day program where you'll meet industry experts in everything from regulatory affairs to finance, to accounting, to intellectual right properties, and consulting. In this event, you'll really get to see the business side of life science. And it's a great opportunity to build a big network relatively fast as you're talking with 60 students plus industry experts. So it's a great event. We just held it this August, but we're gonna do it again next year, so be ready for that. We also have a flagship event called the Copenhagen Life Science Summit, which is a full-day conference where students, graduates, and professionals discuss current topics within the life science industry. This year, it's the 25th of November. but it's going to be a new format since the entire COVID-19 situation has kind of turned our events upside down. So it's probably going to be online, but keep an eye on our social media for more information on this. We also have a mentorship program where you'll be assigned a mentor from the industry, tap into their experience and knowledge. And it's really a great resource. You'll meet 4 to 6 times and work on different topics, as well as meet for 3 Synapse events throughout this cycle. It's really great because it's tailored to your needs. So if you have a clear idea of what you want or where you want to go, you can work on this. But if you need to get more inspiration, there's also room for this. So you can work on personal or professional growth with your mentor. It's a really great resource to have access to an industry professional for one-on-ones throughout this program. So you should really seek it out if you feel like it's interesting. The deadline is closed for this year, but again, you can go for it next year. Throughout the year, we do a lot of events. And next to our flagship events, we do a lot of smaller, mostly lecture-based events where we work on certain skill sets or we explore a topic in the life science sphere. It ranges to therapeutic proteins to PhD, not to PhD, and science in consulting and so on. There's a lot of topics and yeah, they're really, really interesting as well. We also work on some more normal business competencies such as CV writing. So in total, we have around 30 yearly events with 3,000 attendees, and we have also a hub in Aalborg and in Lund.
With the team working at Copenhagen, Synapse has also outgrown and has a team working at the Lund Hub too. The Synapse Lund Hub is now looking for new members to join their team. I will give more details about the recruitment process later. The Synapse releases are a quarterly magazines that are centered around the newest life science trends. The content of the magazine, it varies from interviews with key professionals on certain topics. There is partner insights where our partners have a personalized section of their own choice. There is documentation of our past events, and also there is a customized space where our team members pen down articles of their own choice. So if you want some insights into the current life science industry, make sure you subscribe to our magazine. The latest release is coming out on 30th of October, so make sure you grab that one. Synapse is growing. For the past year, we had more than 3,000 attendees participating in all our events. Synapse is present on all social media platforms. So make sure you follow us on Facebook as well as on LinkedIn so that you are updated about our recent events. Also, if you want insights into the life science industry, make sure you subscribe to our magazine. Synapse is recruiting. Both the Copenhagen team as well as the Lund Hub is looking for new members to join their team. So if you think you are the one, if you have new ideas and if you have new initiatives that can help transition between the students to young professionals, make sure you send us your application. It's a great opportunity to meet professionals from both industry as well as academia, know about them, know about their field of work. Also, you get to plan and execute a broad range of activities. You learn about your soft skills, you learn about project management. Also, you improve on your communication as well as your presentation skills. Apart from all this, you also get to be part of the fun and the social activities that happen in Synapse. So if you think you are the one, if you can help Synapse bridge the gap between academia and industry, make sure you send us your CV and your motivation on why you want to join the Synapse team. The deadline for sending the application for the Copenhagen team is 11th of October, while for sending the application to the Lund Hub is 8th of October. Make sure you visit the website for more details. Also, I and Matthias are going to be present for the one-on-one sessions. So if you have any questions regarding Synapse, I'll encourage every one of y'all to book one-on-one slots with either me or Matthias, and we'll make sure to address all your questions pertaining to Synapse. I must truly admit that I'm proud to be part of the Synapse core team. You can see most of them here, and you'll get to chat with some of them through the event. But how do we in Synapse stay motivated to work these long hours free of charge and organize these various events? Well, I can't answer the question for all my Synapses, but I and Matthias can elaborate on our own motivation. So for me, to have the ability to have an idea and organize these various events and to make an impact on such a huge audience makes me determined to work these hours. Also, to have an amazing team that supports the idea and has this contagious energy to even make these events possible in such a huge pandemic kind of makes me motivated to work these long hours. What about you, Matthias?
So for me, the motivation is two-sided. First of all, I myself had doubts whether or not I should go into industry or academia. And I think it's a struggle a lot of students have, and I really want to help give people the best possible starting point of their career. So I think Synapse really hits the spot in helping you figure out where you want to go. And I think that's a really important and mostly missing otherwise task. The other thing is, as Jumana mentioned, that we have a really great, fun team of young students, and it's really great to be a part of that. The social aspect of Synapse is really big, and I think it's really important to me, definitely.
Finally, to be able to organize these events, we have our partners that support us, support our mission, and sponsor us to help bridge this gap between academia as well as the industry.
But today is about the career fair, and here's a short rundown of what you can expect from the day. Before we get started, we have a little photo contest on our social media. You will need to share a picture of your participation from home, and when you do, tag it with the hashtag Synapse Career Fair 20, and you'll have the chance to win a Synapse mug. I don't even have a mug. I don't think Jumana has a mug. So they are in the high value mugs for sure. So use the hashtag and post the picture on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram, and you're in this competition. We'll pick a winner and reach out to you. So again, today you can meet all of our 17 attending companies. We have consultants, we have IT people, we have startups, and we even have organizations trying to help you reach these startups and make them hire you. So we have somebody for some inspiration for everybody today. So there's really, really a broad range of inspiration. You can still book one-to-one sessions with each companies. They still have available slots, most of them, and they will run throughout the day next to the live presentations. So if you want to book an interview, go into their stall and you'll find the interviews at the top, choose a vacant slot and book this. You'll have some time after the presentation before Højbjerg goes on to do so. So right now you're watching the plenary session, which is us welcoming you. And afterwards, we'll hear from 3 of our partners, Højbjerg, Ida, and Novo Nordisk. The plenary sessions will run from 2:30 till 4. And afterwards, the auditorium sessions will begin, where we have 4 auditoriums. They'll run from 4 to 6:15. All attending companies will have 2 presentations, and they'll present in 2 different auditoriums at a different time. That way, you'll be able to stay in one track for general inspiration, or you can pick and choose the companies that you want to see and change your auditorium accordingly. So the graduate platform has 4 tabs. It's actually rather simple. The first tab is the general information tab. Here you'll find general information about the event. You'll find the program, and you can also, to the right of this screenshot, see that you can click on the companies and get directly into their stalls from here. You can also click the companies tab, and here you'll have a list of companies. You can again click on each one of them and see the stall. Here in the stalls, you can book interviews, and most importantly, you can, with the interviews, also reach out and chat if you haven't had a time to book one yet. But this is where you'll be able to chat, reach out, and connect with the companies. It's a very great opportunity to actually spend some one-on-one time with an industry professional, and this is even through the comfort of your own screen. So if you book an interview and you're on the platform, you will receive a call from the company. Some of the companies don't have the ability to do interviews in the graduate lane, but you can see more in their description if they want you to go another place. Most of the companies also have FAQs and chat topics set up, so you'll be able to get some inspiration on what you can ask the companies. So again, it's really not that scary to reach out, so I highly encourage you to do so. In the Jobs tab, you'll find all the current job openings in the different jobs. You can find jobs and even apply for them at the platform. You can upload your resume and a small application as well. I know that Højbjerg made a hire from last year. Thank you, Nikolai, for sharing that. So it actually does work, and you should check it out if you're looking for a job. In the last tab, there's the live presentations, which you're watching now. And this is where you'll find the program throughout the day and where you can watch all of the companies present. In the presentations, there's going to be limited time for questions. You'll be able to ask some, but they might not get around to a lot. But that's why you will be able to reach out to the companies in the stalls and book some one-on-ones. So you will be able to get answer to all of your questions, but not necessarily in the live presentation. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, we'll be available all day. So please reach out to us. We are more than happy to talk. Yes.
And we are also present on all the social media platforms. So make sure you follow us there. And thank you for hearing us out. And we look forward to meeting you. Thank you.
So we're just going to see if we have any questions right now that we could answer. Good. So we have one question here from Valerie. She says, what form do the one-to-one meetings have? Is it a live chat or are we redirected on Zoom? So the one-to-one sessions will, if you book them, will be a video conference call. You will also be able to chat with companies in their stalls and turn on the video there, but there won't necessarily be someone to talk with you. If you book an interview, you'll be able to do a video conference like we're doing through the platform. So we're also having a question that says, could you tell us how to book a one-to-one meeting? And yes, it's very easy. You go into the company stall and click on book interview. So if the company has one-to-ones offered, you will go into there and you'll see a list of time slots and you can click and book one of those. If there are none present, it might mean that they're already booked fully or that they haven't set it up. So it's pretty easy to just go in there and find out. There are no more questions for now. So again, if you have anything, reach out to us in our stall and we'll be very happy to answer them. Remember to stick around for Højbjerg next and the rest of the program. And as promised, we now have 10 minutes before Højbjerg starts. So please go book some one-to-ones. Again, click the company stall and you'll be able to see it in the top. Click book and it's gonna go through. So we actually got one last question on can you repeat how to win a mock? And I would be happy to do so. I know Mads, our great marketing guy, would enjoy so as well. So let me just show you. In order to win the mock, you have to share a picture of your participation from home. So if I wanted to win this mock, I would take a selfie right now, put it on Instagram, and I would hashtag it Synapse Career Fair 20. Once we're over with this career fair, we'll look at all the pictures and choose a winner and reach out to you on the platform. If you use the tag, we'll be able to find it, so it's important that you do so. Yes. Lastly, last question, and we will go. Do we have to wait until they accept or decline our interview request? Yes, so the companies will have to go in and accept your interview request. it might happen just before the interview, so keep a lookout for that. Maybe they haven't seen it yet. So they will have to go in and accept that. So go in just before your meeting and be ready for it anyway if they haven't accepted right now. So thank you for your time. And again, please reach out to us. Have a great career fair. Bye. All right. So right now we should be joined by Pernille from Højbjerg, the CEO. We are very excited to hear what you have to say, Pernille, and thank you for joining us. When you're ready, share your screen and let us know.
Sure, I'll do that. One moment. I'll see if I can share the screen here.
Yes, there we go.
Okay, I do hope that this will come up in a better format than it is right now. There you go.
Yeah.
There we go. We see it clearly. We
Okay,
will
I'm very happy to hear that.
go for now.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much. And thank you for inviting me to, yeah, that was my assistant leaving the room. Thank you very much for inviting me to talk about the do's and the don'ts that you might encounter when you're applying for a job. And I have a disclaimer here, which is, of course, that my experience is more or less solely with employing people at Højbjerg, my own company. But let me be honest, why is it even relevant for you to listen to a person like me talking about what you should or should not do when you're applying for a job? Well, first of all, I'm the CEO of Højbjerg, and I have many years of experience of hiring people just like you. And my background is the same as yours, so I think it's fair to say that I know a little bit about what it is that you're facing right now. I have over the years personally hired over 20 people. I have to say I have lost count over the times, but that also means if I have hired over 20 people, that means that I have interviewed over 100 people and I have read over 1,000 job applications. So I think it's fair to say that I have seen my fair share of what is a good idea and what is successful and what you should stay away from doing when you're applying for a job. A little bit about the type of people that we have in our company. We are, and I say about 55 employees because we have just hired 2 more people. So I actually think we might be 57 tomorrow. Of the people we have, I know for sure that 42 of them have a master's degree. And the type of people or the job that you would be applying for if you wanted to come to Højbjerg, that would be as a patent attorney. We have 33 patent attorneys. They all have a master's degree. And of these patent attorneys, 25 of them have a life science background. Some of them are like me, biologists. Others are human biologists, chemists. We have every type of life science person in here that you can imagine, also medical doctors. So who is Højbjerg and what is it that we actually do? Well, just the basics of being a patent attorney is that we, of course, draft and write patent applications. We prosecute them, we prepare IP strategies for companies, we do valuations and due diligence. Those are a lot of words. What might be more relevant and easier to relate to is the fact that we are, with the sheer number of patent attorneys today, the largest IP firm in Denmark. And we are by far the largest IP specialist when it comes to life science. So you'll be joining a lot of really interesting people here if you do apply for a job. So what is it that we do a little bit more concretely? Well, what we do is that we take the great ideas that the scientists have, perhaps you have one yourself, and then we turn these into an immaterial property right, into IPR. Specifically, we draft the patent application. That patent application you can use to raise capital, to raise money. And that's why I say what it is that we do is that we turn science into money for our clients. What you choose to do with that money, that's entirely up to you. You can choose either to put the money back into your science, which is what most startups do, obviously. They have to go through a lot of clinical trials. They cost a lot of money. Alternatively, you will be pocketing some of that money yourself, I hope as a salary. Good. So what is it that we do when we're patent attorneys? Well, first of all, as I said, we assist you in making money on your science. Secondly, because we're all scientists, we've been brought up pretty hard that we have to publish our findings. And that's not so good if you want to patent. So a large part of our job is actually to help our clients from committing IP suicide, which means that we help you patent before you publish, and we read through every publications that a lot of our clients they make before they actually go out and send them to the press or to the stock exchange. One of the most important things that we do is that we make very complex legal issues understandable to our clients. What we do is in the interface between science and law and business. And these three three factors can interact together in very complex ways, and we have to be able to make our clients be able to act on what it is that we hear from the patent authorities and what they're subjected to in the environment that they're in. One of the most important roles that we actually have is that we make our clients sleep well at night. Being a patent attorney means that you are subject to a lot of deadlines. The patent authorities, they give us deadlines, and those deadlines cannot be passed. If we do, our clients lose their rights. So if you would like to be a patent attorney, you have to be able to handle a lot of deadlines because the responsibility is on you so that our clients can sleep well. So what do people like that look like? Well, here is an example of different patent attorneys. The guy in the lower right-hand corner is obviously not a part of Højbjerg, but everybody else is. Mr. Einstein, he was an examiner at the Swiss Patent Office during his time, but obviously not an employee here. Up in the upper left-hand corner, you see a picture of Susanne Højbjerg. She is the founder of our company. She founded Højbjerg 25 years ago. Today, you actually have the chance to talk to either Nikolai or to Trine. Nikolai, he will be giving a talk more in detail about what it is that we look for when we're looking for new trainees and what it is that the job is about. And he'll be talking in Auditorium 2 at 4 o'clock and a little bit after that in Auditorium 3. Trine and Nikolai are both available for one-on-one meetings if you have any specific questions for us. So, breaking it down a little bit, what is it that our attorneys, they look like on average? Well, they're highly educated. Obviously, they all have a master's degree. Secondly, 88% of them actually have either a PhD degree or a medical degree. It's not a requirement to become a patent attorney that you have a PhD degree, but we do get a lot of applications from people with a PhD degree. And then it's just obvious for us to hire them because they have an education that's on par, on level with many of the inventors who are our clients. We're really happy that we have a full 42% men. We are an equal opportunity employer. And this is something that's very much in our focus. Also, with our latest hires, we have more foreigners, non-Danes, employed than we actually have Danes among our attorneys. We have people from basically every country in Europe by now, and it creates for a great working environment. We have recently shifted from speaking Danish at all our internal meetings amongst the attorneys to speaking English, but all our staff meetings are still in Danish. So, getting down to the essence of it, what is it that my advice is to you about applying for a job? So I've divided up into two things. First, when you actually submit an application in writing, and secondly, during the interview. So what I think you should focus on, and I can only stress this too much, is please do read the advertisement. This may seem obvious to you, but you will be surprised how many people submit applications in the wrong language, to the wrong people, and sometimes even to the wrong firm. And I'm sorry to say, but if you're applying for a job that requires some sort of detailed orientation and some sort of acuity, then that kind of applications that are wrong just in their format will be thrown out without any doubt. So scrutinize the advertisement carefully, make sure that you fulfill all the requirements. Secondly, please do call in advance, but only if you have a specific question. There's not much point in giving us a call if your question is, can I get the job? Or is it enough that I have a master's? In principle, yes, if that's all we ask for, then a master's degree is more than sufficient to get a job with us. It would be a good idea to state whatever other requirements that or other skills that you might have or demonstrate an interest in why it is you think this job is important. But call once. Don't call more than once. Make sure that you have thought through what questions you want to ask. Ask them, and please don't call again because that makes you seem a little bit unorganized. This one is also very important. The thing you should do is you should write why you're applying for this specific job. Motivate your application. I would like to know why it is that you want to be a patent attorney. Because this is not the type of job that you talk about when you're 5 years old. Oh, when I grow up, I want to be a patent attorney. No, something has happened that makes you interested in this very particular job. make sure you state that. Also, if you're applying for other jobs, not just for a patent attorney, make sure you state why. Because when we receive generic applications, it's a little bit of a turnoff, quite frankly. I can see that you did not even bother spending 5 minutes explaining to me why it is that you want the job that I'm offering you. So why should I spend the 5 minutes reading your application? Another thing I can only recommend is please do write in a perfect error-free language. Please do write in the language that the advertisement asks you to write in. The thing is, of course, we can all make a spelling mistake. That's an honest mistake. But if I can see that you didn't even bother turning on the spell corrector in Word, then why should I be bothered going through your application? Why bother us if you can't be bothered yourself? That's the impression we sometimes sit with. If your English is not your first language, have a friend read it through. It's always a good idea. Keep your sentences short, be specific, and please don't use the synonym function in Word. If you are comfortable using one word, use that word that you prefer for a specific description. Don't randomly choose different words from the synonyms, because it shows through that it's not a language that you're comfortable with. Stick with what you're comfortable with, be honest. Another thing, please do let your personality show through. If you have a particular style of writing, if you have a way that you usually set up your letters with bullet points or whatever it may be, do use that. I don't hire a diploma because everybody who applies here, they have a master's degree. I want to know who it is I'm hiring because I'm hiring people. It's important that I know who it is that I'm hiring when you come through the door. If you come through the door at us at Højbjerg, you start as a trainee, and you will be a trainee for about 1.5 years. That means that you will be sitting next to your mentors, and you will be constantly interacting with a lot of other people, both here and with our clients. And I need to know what type of person it is that I've let through the door. So while that's correct that I do want to know a little bit about you personally, please don't send overly personal photos. I love a photo response and I love a good smile. It's always a pleasure to open a letter that has a big happy smile on it. But there's no point in sending me a picture of you standing with sunglasses and a big hat on, then I can't see you anyway. Also, something I would recommend is that you at least briefly mention some of your non-work or non-scholastic achievements. If you have been a champion surfer or have great experience with mountaineering, if you work for a nonprofit organization in your spare time, whatever it is you do, just mention it. It shows a bit about your personality again. And again, we hire people, not papers. So it's nice to know what it is that you're engaged with. Plus, it's often a good icebreaker if you get invited in for an interview. If you have some particular really specific interest, you love to crochet flowers in your spare time. What do I know? Put it in there. It's a funny fact that we can always spin a little story about, which will ease the tension during the first couple of minutes during a meeting. Just don't lose focus. You're still applying for a job. Make sure that that's the focus of your letter. And while you might find mountaineering the most exciting thing in the world, keep it brief. It's still a job that you're after. So that was a little bit about how to go through it when you actually write up the application. Then I have a couple of pointers to what I find is helpful during interviews. Please do come prepared. Also for the unexpected. When I say for the unexpected, I mean that both we and other employers may throw a pop quiz at you. You may be subjected to a personality test. You may be the recipient of some unexpected type of questions. There is a logic to this. Sometimes it's nice for an employer to know what type of person is sitting on the other side and how you handle yourself in a slightly pressured situation. Yes, I know that the interview itself is putting you under duress, but throwing you an odd question once in a while and seeing how you respond to that will tell me a little bit about how you might react in the office of a client sometime in the future. Please also, when I say come prepared, I mean investigate a little bit about the company that you're interviewing for a position at. Don't make the mistake of doing name dropping if those people aren't employed here but employed at our competitors. That gives a very unpleasant experience. Look a little bit into the financials sometimes. Most businesses, of course, are businesses. They should be well run, otherwise don't bother going there. And also, one of the reasons why I state this is, please, again, don't waste other people's time. Excuse me. The thing is, if you don't come prepared, it feels like a little bit of an insult. You're talking to other people who've actually set off a whole day usually to interview several candidates. And it's not fair that you waste other people's time. A thing I can say, which is reflected really well in people who come for an interview. Usually people are a little bit nervous, and that's perfect because it's great to be a little bit excited. It's good to be on your toes. It's always wonderful to interact with people who are a little bit happy. And if you have that kind of attitude at the interview, it's really great. If you know with yourself that you might have a tendency to become too nervous in a stressful situation like an interview, I do recommend that you actually get some professional help. I have interviewed people who were so nervous in the situation that they were not capable of looking me in the eye. That does not give me the confidence that this is a person that I can send out to clients. If you're very nervous, get some help. Call your student organization. They might be able to point you to a direction where you can get some help on how to become more relaxed in a pressured situation. It's just like going to an exam, except it's usually actually a lot friendlier because, hey, we don't pass out grades. We do give you a job, but we give the job to the person who fulfills all of our specific requirements. And there is nothing wrong with not doing that because they're very specific. And again, it's also about the personality. And that leads me to, oops, another slide. You should dress appropriately. You should dress for the job that you're applying for. If you're applying for an office job, like my office, wear a jacket. Wear something that's considered conservative attire if you're in doubt of what you should wear. It's a little bit odd interviewing people who come dressed in an evening gown. On the other hand, it's also a little bit odd sometimes to interview people who come in see-through clothing. That does not create a conducive environment for a good interview. So if in doubt, dress conservatively. Jeans can actually be okay. Just wear the jacket. You're good to go. This one is very important. Be yourself and be honest. Be honest when you're at an interview. Again, this goes back to the fact that we employ people, not papers. I need to know what type of person you are. And if you overthink your answers to some of the questions we ask, then who am I actually employing? We can usually hear if it's rehearsed, your answer, and we can usually sense if it's not completely genuine what you're saying. But even worse, if you actually manage to sort of slip through with something that is not actually you, then we might not have a good match. I mean, we're all different as people. And when you're in a working place and you're spending 8 hours a minimum a day, usually together in a close confine, it's important that you can be together in a sensible way and that you actually like spending time together. And if you're not the person that we thought you were, then you might not actually be the good fit. So make sure that you're honest with your future employer. Also, hey, it's Corona. Obviously, I'm sitting here talking to you over a screen instead of looking you directly in the eye and standing on a stage, which I honestly would have much preferred. But we also make use of these new methods. So what we do is we actually very often screen candidates on a video call. Prepare for that. Make sure you don't sit in a backlit room. Make sure that we might be able to read your facial expressions or at least see you. And please do check the background. And please make sure that you don't have a radio in the next room or ask your neighbor to turn down. That will be very helpful. So if you are fortunate enough to get called in for the interview, do send a thank you afterwards. It's a very nice thing to receive. It knows that you've actually appreciated the fact that we spent some time on you. So that was it for the do's and the don'ts. If you have any questions for us, I recommend that you talk to Nikolai about what it's like to be a patent attorney. As said, he talks in auditorium 2 and 3 at the given times here. And also Trine and Nikolai, when he's not talking, are available for one-to-ones, which you can book through Graduate Land. So I hope you enjoyed the talk. I hope you found it helpful. And possibly I'll be hearing from you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Pernille. That was really great and some great insights. It was great to have you on board, and hopefully we'll see you on a stage next year when all of this is hopefully over.
Yeah, I really do hope so. That would be nice.
Yeah. So if you would stop sharing your screen, that would be
Yes.
great. And
Sure.
again, thank you for coming, and it was great hearing from you.
Yeah. Well, bye. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So right now we are gonna have Sophie from EDA doing a presentation. And Sophie, you should be in here now. So we would very much like to see and hear from you.
Yes. Hi.
Hi. Once you're ready, share your screen, and then we are gonna mute ourselves, and we're very much looking forward to your presentation.
Yeah. Is Anna and Cyril as well?
Yes, Cyril is there, and I'm just gonna let her in. And Anna is also with you?
Yeah, and Lene.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
I was not sure if you were all in this talk.
Yes, that's all of us.
There we go. Welcome.
Great. Thanks. Okay, I'm just gonna share my screen then. So hello, we are student ambassadors from IDA. My name is Anna. And I'm Sophie. Cyril, din lyd er rigtig dårlig.
All right, so Cyril, if we can't hear you right now, but if you go down into to the left corner of Zoom, make sure that you've selected a microphone that is capable of recording you. All right, Cyril, if you in the chat text me your number, I can maybe give you a call and we can work that out, and you guys can keep on presenting if that works out for you.
Yeah.
But maybe you can you hear me now? Now I turned up.
Yes, it works. There we go.
I'm sitting at my school, so yeah, I'll try. I will introduce you and answer the question, what is IDA? Because IDA is a trade union and a community with more than 125,000 members working and studying in the fields of technology, natural science, and IT. And the purpose of a trade union is to act and negotiate on your behalf to secure you the best possible working conditions. And actually 2/3 of Danish workforce is a member of a trade union right now. Okay, and during this presentation, we will introduce you to the benefits you get access to with a membership of IDA. First, I will introduce you to some of our cash benefits, among others, cheap insurances and discounts. Sophie will then tell you about our professional networks and some of the interesting events they organize. Anna will introduce you to our collaboration with Akademikernes A-kasse. And finally, our career counselor, Lene, will present our career counseling. And during this presentation of benefits, I will ask you to keep in mind that the first year as a student member of IDA is free. And after that, you only pay 20 Danish kroner a month. And even if you sign up today, you will get a gift card for academic books on 500 Danish kroner. Yeah. Okay, now I will introduce you to some of the cash benefits. Because as a member of IDA, you get access to banking advantages in Lån og Sparbank. You can get a lot of discounts on, among others, Boost.com, NightPay, and GoGift. And then we offer the cheapest student insurances in Denmark. As a student member in IDA, you have the opportunity to get a home content insurance, which covers you and up to 2 other people in your household. You can also get an accident insurance, which also will cover you in the laboratory. And finally, you can get a travel insurance. Yeah. And the good things about these insurances is that you can keep them until you are 30 years old, even though you're not a student anymore. Yes, that was all for me, and now Sophie will tell you about our professional networks.
So as a member of IDA, you have the opportunity to join our professional networks, which are administered by other IDA members. And after joining, you'll receive newsletters and lots of offers to attend different events. So why should you join a network? Well, you'll have the possibility to expand your network and spar with other professionals in your field. You'll be invited to specific conferences and other events that are relevant for you. And you'll be updated on the latest news in your field via professional articles, videos, and webinars. So now I'm just going to introduce you to two of the networks IDA offers that are relevant for you. And the first one is IDA Bioscience, which is a network for professionals in the field of biology, biotechnology, and other science fields. It's a broad network that can provide you with knowledge and inspiration about everything from neuroscience, bacteriology, climate changes, and biodiversity, stem cell research, and much more. And one of the upcoming events I want to highlight are this one, CRISPR Technologies for Antibiotics and Discovery and Development, which will be held in Copenhagen on the 7th of October. Another series of events I want to highlight are this digital festival exploring bioscience, which is a series of 8 online lectures concerning bioscience, and it's running from the 26th of October to the 29th of October. Unfortunately, all these lectures are in Danish, so it's only Danes who can participate. One of the lectures, for example, are this one, how virus evades the body's immune system and causes infection and disease. Yes, and then on to IDA Young Professionals, which are another network for students and recent graduates. It can help you expand your professional networks and help you acquire tools for a good transition to the working life. IDA Young Professionals hosts a lot of yearly events, such as conferences and collaborations with other professional networks, courses in both personal development and different IT systems, lectures, and company visits. And an upcoming event I want to highlight are this one, Networking, the Best Hack for Your Job Research, where you will learn how to map your network, become better at networking and contacting the relevant people, and do's and don'ts. And besides for the events hosted by our networks, IDA also have a group of volunteers to plan specific events for student members, such as workshops and different programs, social events, and boot camps. An example of this are the Startup Boot Camp, which is a series of 4 workshops for students who want to start their own company. Unfortunately, only one of these events are in English, and that's how to fund your startup. At the workshops, you'll acquire skills in business model canvas, learn how to write a fund application, and meet fund board members who will give out advice on how to make a great video pitch. You will get advice from other self-employed lawyers, accountants, and career consultants about concrete issues you might meet in the startup phase. And then you'll get concrete advice for your pitch from the actor Arne Stentoft. So if you want to know more about these events, you can go to the link or download our app, Hello Fellow. And now Anna will tell you a bit about AKA.
Yes, so my name is Anna, and I'm here to talk about our partnership with the Akademikernes A-kasse, which is an unemployment fund for academics. So what is an A-kasse? It's a very Danish thing, and it's a part of the welfare state, just like free education, healthcare, and so on. It's funded partly by its members and partly by the state. Its design helps you economically in case you're job seeking and with no income, as well as guiding you in a job applying process. So what can an Akademikernes A-kasse do for you? First and foremost, they can provide you with unemployment insurance. They also have an expert team that is available to help you get in or back in a job. They can help you with application, CV portraits, photo, and much more. All that sounds pretty good, I hope. But some of you might think, how much does it cost and how much do I get? Firstly, to be eligible for unemployment benefits from day one after your last study day, you'll have to sign up at least 1 year in advance for the low price of 0 kroner if you're a student under 30 years. Then when you are done studying and job seeking, Akademikernes A-kasse will pay out your unemployment insurance, which is around 13,000 kroner before tax. So to sum up the 3 excellent reasons to become a member of Akademikernes A-kasse. Firstly, eligibility for 13,000 kroner in unemployment benefits from day one. Number 2, no membership fees during your studies. And number 3, professional job application help. What's not to like? Yes. So do as 13,000 other students, boost your knowledge and join our strong and social academic community. You can easily join IDA in our app, Hello Fellow, or at IDA for students, for studerende.dk, or with help from one of your local IDA student ambassador, that's me, or Sophie, or Cyril. And the first years as a student member is free, and after you pay 2 kroner per month. Yes, and remember you can sign up today and get a gift card for academic books for 500 kroner. And now Lena will talk more about the career counseling.
Yes, I hope you can hear me. My name is Lena, and I work for IDA as a junior career consultant, where my main task is about helping students and newly graduates in their job searching process. So mostly I'm talking to people like you who are looking for a job and sometimes finds it hard to get the right job, the dream job. And actually, I'll just tell you multiple ways where we can help you here in IDA. For example, we're hosting a lot of online seminars, which are related to a lot of different areas in the job searching process. For example, we can teach you how to write a great CV, or how you do well in an unsolicited job search process, and how you can use and map your network, and how you can pinpoint your skills, etc. We have a lot of webinars actually. So these are, of course, online due to the COVID-19 situation, but that just makes it much easier for you to sign up and join the seminars, which are around 2 hours long. And just for your information, all these webinars are actually in English, so I think everyone can understand what we are telling you and try to learn you. Okay. We can actually also give you some individual feedback, where you, for example, can upload your CV and cover letter, and then we can take a look at it and give you some advices on how to improve your material. It is always a good idea to get rid of all these small dummies, and moreover, it's a good idea to let some fresh eyes read your material through. You can also just call us if you need to discuss your future choices about which candidate you would like to take. So actually, you are always very welcome to call us and make an inquiry if you have any concerns or things you are wondering about, as long as it relates to the job searching process, or also if you have a job but are thinking about changing paths or track. Yeah, you can also find a lot of information on our website, and we have made some articles and tips and tricks which can hopefully help you and guide you in writing some great application material. Yeah, and then you can use us today. I'll just show you a figure here. Yes, here it is. It's our golden figure in our advice. It's this one. And maybe some of you have seen it before, but it's because in our advice, we always try to state the importance of coming to an understanding of what job search really is. And job search is not about you, sorry guys. It is about all these three things here. It's about the company figuring out what are their needs and what can you do, and also what do you want to do. So it's also about you, but it's not only about you. So in this sweet spot where these three things interfere, you have to find all the good arguments for, first of all, applying for a specific position, but also all the arguments you need to focus on in your material and in the job search process in a whole. When you network and when you're going to the job interview, you really have to keep this in mind. Oh, it's also about what do they need, because then I have to focus on these things to show them that I can do it for them. So if we take an example, we can talk about the pitch. I hope you have heard about the pitch before. Otherwise, I can shortly tell you that it is a kind of a little presentation, a little teaser of you and your education, and also what you can do. So this pitch I used when you are going to a job interview. Oh, please, can you tell me a little about yourself? Oh, yes, I can, because I have prepared my pitch. So this pitch has always to be targeted to the specific situation or the specific listeners every time. And a way to help you targeting this pitch is actually to think about the figure. Because, for example, okay, if we think about me as an engineer, then I'm talking to a company who needs an engineer who can use Python. Oh, I can use Python. And I actually also want to use Python in my future job. Therefore, the fact that you can use Python and you are an engineer and the company wants an engineer who can use Python, then it's an extremely important fact that you can do that. And therefore, it should be included in your pitch. I hope it makes sense. So you can actually go through these steps with every competence in your pitch. Every time you're making it or trying to target it to the specific situation where you have to tell it or speak it out loud. So the pitch is actually very important to prepare, and you can always practice it. I think you should practice it with your friends. You can start by writing it down and then try to say it out loud. And a little exercise could actually be to try to, first of all, tell your pitch in 2 minutes, and then make a round 2 and tell it in 1 minute. And then in round 3, go down to 30 seconds. And then if you can tell all the important stuff in 30 seconds, then you are ahead of all the other students at your at your academy or university, because then you have found out which competencies that's the most important. So it's just a way of finding out which things do I actually need to say in my pitch. Yeah. A little thing that you can also remember, especially when you are newly graduated, is that the job post is a wish list. So they have a lot of wishes. For example, they can wish that you have experience and can handle management and also have strong communicative skills. But if you can only fulfill 3 out of 5 requirements, then you might really be a good candidate anyway, because it's a wish list and you cannot get everything that you wish for, at least not every time. So be brave, apply for the interesting position, call us if you have any doubts or just want to get some feedback at your material, and do your research before applying the position. Keep the golden figure in your mind. And yeah, you can actually today get some advice from me and my colleague Frederikke. We will be here from 16 to 18, where you can book us in a room where we can give you individual feedback for 10 minutes. And we can do it both in English, and for you who speaks Danish, we can also talk Danish. Yeah, but as they already told you, it's for free the first year if you sign up for IDA, and otherwise it will cost 20 Danish crowns. Yeah. Thank you for listening. I hope you got some tips and tricks, and I hope you are ready for the job searching process.
Oh, thank you so much, Line. So we have one question from our attendees. It is this for only Danish students? Can EU students apply? Also, what if you are over 30 years old?
It's for everyone, actually. If you're a member of IDA, you can also get career consultancy by consultants who are not a student member or student, what's it called? Student worker, as I am. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I think also, sorry for interrupting you, I think also this question was written during the insurance and the monthly payments and stuff like that. So I just want to make sure that that is this current for EU students and everybody as well? You guys on the Graduate Lane platform can't see this, but I see Sophia nodding,
Yeah.
and maybe she wants to elaborate a bit on that. We have 1 minute, so just a fast answer.
Yeah, you can be a member of IDA and have all the benefits as an international student as well.
Great. Okay. So thank you very much for being there. And it would be great if you all stop presenting the screen so we can have our another presenters. Thank you. Now we have Stephen Buckley from Novo Nordisk. Thank you so much for being there. And you can now present. Yeah.
So Stephen, we need you to unmute yourself. There should be a mute button somewhere. And once you're done, so we can hear you. The screen sharing is working great, and also your video, but you need to unmute yourself. There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So it's a real a pleasure to have the opportunity today at the Life Science Career Fair to present to you Novo Nordisk. So I will share over the next 15 to 20 minutes some information and background regarding Novo Nordisk, and also share with you some perspectives on learnings and reflections based upon my career to date at Novo Nordisk. So my name is Stephen, and I'm currently a director in our Global Research Technologies unit, which is part of the Research and Development Organization here at Novo Nordisk. So I'm sure many of you are familiar with Novo Nordisk, but perhaps many of you lack a deeper insight into some of the interesting history behind the company, and also our current and future focus areas. So Novo Nordisk is a global healthcare company, and we were founded approximately or almost 100 years ago in 1923. And as a company, we are amongst the 10 largest pharmaceutical companies globally, and we are corresponding to about more than 40,000 employees across the globe. And center and core to our purpose as a global healthcare company is driving change to defeat, in particular, diabetes, but also many other serious chronic diseases, including obesity, rare blood disorders such as hemophilia, and rare endocrine disorders such as growth disorders. And in terms of how we at Novo Nordisk pioneer scientific breakthroughs, so that is the core of our efforts in trying to develop new treatments for patients suffering from serious chronic disorders. And you can see in some of the numbers on the left side of the screen reflect some of the impact that Novo Nordisk has on those with diabetes and other serious chronic diseases. So we are supplying almost 50% of the world's insulin, and on a daily basis, 30 million people are using our diabetes care products. And while Novo Nordisk, of course, has its origins in Denmark, we are today really a global company. So we have presence in over 80 countries in the world, and our products are to be found in around 170 countries across the world. And in terms of where we are located, so of course our headquarters are here in Denmark, in Bagsvær, so just in the greater Copenhagen area. And in addition to that, from a particular R&D perspective, we have research sites both in Denmark, but also in China, in Beijing, and also in a number of sites in the US across Seattle, Indianapolis, and Boston, and also the UK in Oxford and in Bangalore in India. So it really reflects the global and international setting in which Novo Nordisk operates as a company. And as I mentioned earlier, our history started in 1923. So this was actually when August and Maria Gro, two Danish scientists, August, a physician, was in the US and actually managed to get a license or permission from the lab of Banting and Best in the University of Toronto in Canada to bring back the possibility of producing insulin in Scandinavia. And since then, as a company, our focus started out initially within diabetes, and we have subsequently used that heritage within diabetes to expand our endeavors to other areas, including, as mentioned, obesity and other rare blood and endocrine disorders, which we work in today. And just to emphasize to you in terms of serious chronic diseases such as diabetes, so they are unfortunately a growing global health problem for many across the world, and that's really reflected in the numbers that you can see in the slide here. So while today there are approximately 400 million people suffering with diabetes, it is estimated that already within around 25 years, this number will have increased to more than 700 million. And perhaps shockingly, almost 1 in 2 persons with type 2 diabetes actually do not know that they have this disease. And furthermore, there are at least 7 in 10 people with diabetes who are currently not achieving their desired treatment outcomes. And perhaps most worryingly, diabetes is a source of 4 million deaths annually. And those numbers are also unfortunately mimicked for some of the other serious chronic diseases, which we seek to provide better and improved treatments for. And that example is exemplified also by obesity, which, as many of you are aware, is really a global pandemic that is growing year on year. And unfortunately, obesity is also linked to many or multiple health complications, including, of course, type 2 diabetes, but also cardiovascular disease and also some cancer types. And today we have globally around 650 million persons, adults with diabetes, and a growing proportion of children and adolescents also. And mimicking or mirroring that of diabetes, almost half of those with obesity have not yet been diagnosed. So of course, a lot of these numbers can be quite surprising, but they represent a strong motivation for us at Novo Nordisk to work to develop new and better treatments which can provide better outcomes and also provide the possibility of more patients getting the treatment that they need. And in terms of from an R&D perspective, of course, we're the part of the organization that is responsible for driving and generating new ideas. And from industry estimates, it's actually proposed that in order to bring just one single drug to the market, we actually need to start out with approximately 5,000 ideas. And there's also a lot of money and time and resources invested in progressing from that point where you're generating ideas to actually testing some of the most promising concepts in humans, and ultimately finding that successful drug that can really make a positive impact for those suffering from serious chronic diseases such as diabetes and obesity. So within Novo Nordisk and our research and development unit, so as I mentioned, we have over 95 years now of experience within working in diabetes, and those capabilities within diabetes, and in particular within peptides and proteins such as insulin and GLP-1 used in the treatment of diabetes, that has provided us with the possibilities of broadening our research into adjacent areas such as obesity, and also areas of new exploration such as rare blood and endocrine disorders. And today, currently as a pharmaceutical company, we're investing quite significant proportion of our sales revenue back into our research and development. So in order to ensure that we can remain in a position to develop cutting edge treatments that can benefit patients across the world. And currently, as an organization, of the approximately 40,000 persons working for Novo Nordisk, around 1/8 or 5,000 employees are working within the R&D unit across the globe. So that captures sort of an introduction and overview of Novo Nordisk as a company, and some of the historical perspective, and also some of the background information relating to those areas which we seek to develop new and better treatments for. And then for the second part of the presentation, I'd just like to share with you also some career perspectives based on my own experiences at Novo Nordisk, and hopefully that can provide you with some helpful information as you begin to consider future career opportunities whilst you complete your further education. So as I mentioned before, I'm currently director and head of a department called Discovery ADME, based in Global Research Technologies in a place called Molu in the greater Copenhagen area. And I have, as based at Novo Nordisk, been with the company for almost 10 years now, starting in 2011. But my career path actually began somewhere else. So I'm originally from Ireland, and completed my education in pharmacy now back in 2007 at Trinity College Dublin. And then after that, I took my PhD within pharmaceutical sciences, also at Trinity College Dublin and at the University of Southern California in the US. And at that point, I transitioned from my PhD to actually performing a postdoc at the University of Southern Denmark in Odense for a short period. And later that same year in 2011, I applied for a position at Novo Nordisk as a research scientist, and was so fortunate to get that job, and I've been at Novo Nordisk since then. And since starting at Novo Nordisk in 2011, I've transitioned into new and different positions throughout those past 9 years. So going to a position of senior research scientist in 2013. And then actually in 2015, so about 5 years ago, I transitioned into a role that provided me with further development opportunities in terms of becoming or having leadership responsibilities within the organization. And since then, I've subsequently transitioned to a department head role, and then more recently into a role as director and head of Discovery ADME. And I think some of the reflections that for me, when I look back on the past 9 years at Novo Nordisk, is also about my experience as being a scientist in an industry setting with Novo Nordisk, and also then subsequently my experience of transitioning from being a scientist into also a leader of scientists. And I would say, as a scientist and starting out in that type of job position, perhaps it goes without saying that the majority of the job, if not 100%, is focused on the science. And there, of course, it's very much about using the specialist knowledge that one has gained and generated during the master, PhD, and postdoc education. And in terms of day-to-day work, one is working allocated to different research projects, in my case, and providing that specialist input and delivering important data to drive the projects forward. And typically one is responsible for working together with one or more laboratory technicians as well. Whilst as a leader, over the past 5 years, my role has transitioned into having more of a split between the leadership responsibilities and those of the scientific responsibilities. So one still continues to use a lot of the knowledge and background that has been developed as a scientist and uses that to guide and also inspire fellow scientists in my department, and also develop, build, and implement strategic direction and strategy together with senior management. And then lastly, perhaps, just to share with you some perspectives of what it actually takes to become a research scientist in Novo Nordisk and in general in R&D in the pharmaceutical industry. So no doubt it's very important to have a relevant background. So when I say that, it means to be skilled in a particular technique or methodology that is relevant to the areas which the company is pursuing. To have a specialist's knowledge or background in a topic or field of interest. So for Novo Nordisk, this can be metabolic disorders as an example. And what is really important is also the mindset. So to have a strong collaborative mindset and enjoy working together with others and in teams. And typically for research scientists, a PhD degree is required. And it's also very helpful if one comes with postdoc experience. And of course, to differentiate oneself in the application process, it's also important or can be helpful to have a background from a well-respected institute, lab, or key opinion leader to be able to demonstrate the output of your research in terms of publications in relevant journals. And also in particular to have strong presentation and communication skills, because that is really an important element in one's job in terms of communicating the data and the findings that you generate. And then also appreciating the differences that exist between an academic setting and an industry setting when things progress very fast and can also change quite quickly as well. So rounding up, and just to share with you some of the career opportunities that do exist in Novo Nordisk for students and also recent graduates. There are really quite so many. So as existing students, there are possibilities to apply for student jobs and also internship programs. There are also some really exciting student case competitions that people can participate in and apply to be part of. And then when transitioning from the conclusion of your education, there are great opportunities to be part of our graduate program. And also there exists many entry-level positions across the organization, and not least also opportunities to pursue both PhD and postdocs at Novo Nordisk together or in collaboration with universities as well. So I think I'll probably leave it at that. The last is just to mention or exemplify one of those opportunities in terms of PhD and postdoc, and that's our STAR program, which you can read more about on our website. But with just a couple minutes to spare, if there are any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them in the remaining couple minutes.
So Stephen, as of right now, there are no current questions, but we can just give people 30 seconds. Oh, actually, we have one, which is not actually for Novo Nordisk. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Another question, but I'll reach out for that. thank you for sharing your journey and some great tips for differentiating yourself as a researcher and so on. It's really great to hear from people who have actually been through the journey, and it sounds like you've had a really interesting trip in your career. I think we will introduce the auditoriums now, and thank you very much for coming and presenting.
Thank you very much.
Final remarks.
Pleasure.
All right, there we go. Thank you, Stephen. It was great having you. So right now, we're almost ready to start with the auditorium sessions. Please make sure to find your auditorium and go in there. We have the photo contest, as I told you before, and I was told during one of the presentations that I only mentioned Instagram, and they want me to make sure that, of course, you can post your picture on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Yes. So any major social media platform is definitely fine. So yeah, thank you for joining in. Is this plenary session? Please reach out to the companies, reach out to us. We're here to talk with you, and the companies are as well. So reach out, and we'll see you in the auditorium sessions. Bye.